Well, good evening, race fans. Come at you live here from New Zealand for a rallycross experience like no other. And in the booth alongside me, I got James here tonight for the call.
Hey everyone.
And yeah, this is going to be a long track, dude. 12 miles in length, only 20 laps. It's going to be interesting. And it's going to have pretty much, it's kind of like a half and half. You got paved segments like you're driving on country roads, and then you'll have the dirt segments too. So it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be interesting, and there's a lot of storylines coming into this race. It's gonna be make or break for some people going into the championship battle. And of course, Atley Weiss with a three-peat. Last three races he's run, he has won. Starting front row here alongside Lucas Holmes, Bradley Ream, and Cooper Dwight, Rich Roy, and Gannon Bird. And although it says Horseman on there, it is now Tom Cording taking over this 90 ride. It was a little bit last minute for that team, and they'll eventually get a proper scheme put together for him. You might be able to enlighten the viewers on the situation there, James.
Situation over there is that Audi feels like the Cording brothers are kind of responsible for how their season has gone across the board. They feel like ever since they've come back, it's really shown that they needed the Cording brothers to be around to help get things rolling. And just when they needed them at the start of the season, they were suspended for months. So Audi was left floundering, and now that they're back, Audi feels that they should be here in the Bridge to Cup series, helping fix part of the problem everywhere
And it's
instead
gonna
of instead of just the places that they wanted to race originally.
it's gonna help get Audi in the spotlight with two top tier drivers between Tim and Tom Cording. Tom Cording's got a good starting spot here for today's race. He's got Adam Starr and Scott Speed, and then the brother Tim Cording right there in the number 50 Spotify entry. Anheuser Wagner. It's going to be hard to miss that one with the neon green tire tread.
Yeah, I like the choice there.
Dave Steele Jr. is your points leader. He's starting about mid-pack here alongside Kyle Ottawa, Ryan Little, and Alan Malcolm. Malcolm just recently won a truck race. Kyler Sestre and Cannon Gage, Kevin Xavier and Jack Davis, Asiel Escobar and Luis Rodriguez, Spinham Walker and Krista Cower, John Hagan, Noah Hobson, Andrew Moger, Kat Durham, Roach, Braden Hunt, Paul Ladino, David Bird, and Chasey Plays. There we go, 20 frames, 22 frames per second. Seems like
Even better when we can't see any cars.
our last race was a little rough around the edges with frames per second. This one's going to be interesting how big this track is. 12 miles qualifying time. Take a guess at what the qualifying time was, James.
How long is the track here?
12, it's like 12 and a half miles.
Oh boy. 7 minutes.
Close. It was 5 minutes and 38 seconds for pole position.
Wow. Long lap.
And once they're up to speed, it's going to be fun. This camera angle is actually not going to be half bad at speed, I imagine. It'll shake it up a little bit, giving us kind of some standstill shots of the racing action here. Hopefully no one takes a dip in the lake over there today.
I mean, it's a little unfortunate we're not at the quarry.
Yeah, unfortunately, I tested it, and they ended up spending more time on pit road. The race actually went on for 2 hours and didn't finish. And I'd bumped the aggression all the way down to 70%, and it still was doing that.
That's so weird because during testing it was working so fine.
I know, right? So I don't know if the driver ratings. I think with the way that these ratings are set up, it contributes itself to some craziness, you know?
Must be because the Quarry was where we did the test race, correct? That's what I thought.
Yep.
I mean, I knew we had some frame issues when everybody was in like the dirt section, but other than that,
Yeah, what I noticed is we had a driver on a lap all of his own, and he was sitting on pit road 3 laps ahead of the person in second. And I was like, well, that's weird.
yikes.
Of course, I accelerated. I let it accelerate to try and do the testing. I didn't actually sit through and watch the whole. It took 2 hours for him to get to lap 50 of 100. So I was like, this could be problematic. So this is the alternative, and obviously going into the off season next year, we might be doing some more testing to figure out proper tracks for this Bridge to Cup when related to rallycross racing. And Atley Weiss off to the early lead here. His team car, Bradley Ream, right there behind him. It is kind of weird. Atley driving for Guido Piano's BMW team, and Atley's actually competing against his own team in Commonwealth Racing Ventures. There we go. Now we're going into the mud portion of the track. It's impressive how much speed they're carrying around here in the dirt.
160 miles an hour still.
And this is a sharp
It's taking
turn.
us around the whole countryside here, around here in. Oh Jesus, is that a canyon?
Looks like there's a dam even, or a bridge. I think it's a good thing I lowered the background quality a little bit, or else we'd be hitting 1 frame per second right now. There's a nice little puddle. I'll cool down the tires. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Yeah, oh no. I had a feeling watching it jump in. I was like, I have a weird feeling this is gonna cause a problem.
Bummer. Yeah, so I know these rallycross tracks can be problematic sometimes. Those of you on the stream, I have to stop stream real quick and reset my OBS to get the ticker to reset. So, hold tight.
Bear with us a minute. We'll be back.
Little difficulties as we've seen with tracks like this before. And looks like the lineup's a little bit different this time, as Tim Cording has pole position. And that's a big deal because Tim Cording needs to get a win and stay inside the top 16 in points to be eligible for the chase. There we go. Disable. Okay, we're back with the live stream here from New Zealand. That'd be pretty interesting if Tim Cording was able to get a win.
Oh dang, he ended up on the front row this roll around. Here we go. I was just thinking that about Tom when he was starting further up. How did he end up qualifying this time around?
Let's see, the 90. About mid-pack, roughly.
I'd say keep the camera decently close, and the frame should be fine. I wouldn't say you have to like, yeah, I wouldn't say you have to do that all race, but just like decently close. Maybe like when they're coming through that like puddly section, switch to like a follow through to see if it helps.
Let's see if I hit. I'll just have to hit 5 times.
Honestly, I imagine any close-up camera will do fine. Whatever you can get to quickest.
I do like this camera angle here. It's going to be fun watching the final lap coming around this long winding turn here right by the lake.
I think it'll be fine once they get spread out a little bit, but when they're all together like that,
Just when you get to that puddle section, you're thinking?
yeah, when we get to that mud section, maybe try to stick close.
Alrighty, well here we go. Pace car is off and we're gonna get roaring here. Tim Cording with the lead. Scott Speed right there in second. You got a 6-car pack taking a big gap from the rest of the field there. Is Atley thinking about making it 3 wide for the lead? No, he's using drafting to his advantage here. That is one of his team cars right there in front of him. Scott Speed in the 95, teammate to himself. They're both racing for Guido Piano.
Hey, what'd I tell you?
Now we're going to be going.
Did we go through that puddle section?
Not yet.
Perfect.
Now, right about here is where we're going to hit the puddle section. The game just does not know what to do.
Yep. See what I mean? Because we're far enough away. Yep, as long as we have just a couple of cars on screen, we're fine.
It's going to be a venture here today, just cycling cameras. And this is a fast track. It's crazy how much speed they're carrying through dirt and everything else. Oh, there's drivers already on pit road.
Means we had something cooking.
19, let's see who. It looks like a championship contender in Bradley Ream there.
Championship implications? Oh boy, that thing is.
So
mushed.
we've got some turmoil here in lap 1. I think he took an off-road venture.
Oh wow. Looks like a couple of them did.
Oh shoot, this was up right there in the top 5. As you've got Jack Davis all right on the bridge. That's a terrible place to lose it.
Looks like it almost collected Tom Cording as well.
Good thing for that fence being there, else he would have been.
Yeah, he just gets into the back of the 26 there. And...
Whoa.
I'm not understanding. Whoa, how did we end up with a car upside down?
That's our championship points leader, Dave Steele Jr.
Oh no.
So first and second in the points, involved in the first wreck of the race. He just got clipped off. Man, he got...
Oh man, that other one didn't even finish spinning before it dipped back to pit lane.
Braden Hunt in the number 4 car. He took evasive maneuvers here to stay away from the 48, but unfortunately that evasive maneuver put him into the fence there.
One more angle of this.
So this part right here is where it all starts. These two don't even make it across the bridge. Everyone else pretty much gets by the...
Oh, I was just gonna say, that was incredible driving by the whole field.
And then once you get to this narrow bridge, things are often harder to navigate. Yeah, let's watch Tom Cording and see how he managed.
He's a shove to the 46. Basically just gets pushed all the way through it by the 29. Oh!
Oh no. He's gonna keep it going though? Nope, he gets
and it's gonna tow back. There we go.
His day might not be done. It could
I don't think
still...
his day's done, but he's probably definitely waiting for a tow.
Oofty, Luis Rodriguez has to make the unfortunate trip all the way around the track. At least he didn't have to call the tow truck. There's a lot of those that are coming back around to try and finish their lap without a tow truck.
That one claimed quite a few cars there. A lot more cars than I think we thought it did.
It's going to take about another minute or two for us to cycle out the wrecked ones and figure out the running order here.
Man, Tom Block in the 90 did a number on the 26's nose.
So right now we're heading towards the start-finish line for the completion of lap number 1. And it's Scott Speed over Atley Weiss. It's going to be interesting to see what the fast lap looks like here. So Atley Weiss actually had the fastest lap at a 5:39.7. So 5 minutes, 39 seconds. That's a long time for a lap. He's running a competitive line here to that 95 in front of him. This section, we might be able to term it as the danger zone, because that bridge can be a little bit daunting now, looking at what we've seen already. Looks like we've got 20 cars at least healthy.
Gonna spread out, but meh. Here's what it is.
I think one thing that's going to be interesting is seeing fuel mileage here today. We might even see people push it just a little too far and run out of gas on a lap. These teams, they really got to be on top of their fuel numbers, or else pay the ultimate price and get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Look at that run from Atley. Atley putting in a hard charge here. He wants to get that 4-peat under his belt. He's going to have the advantage going into the left-hand turn here. Ooh. Teammates duking it out. Scott Speed had the lead for lap 1. Atley Weiss looking to take it away from him here.
Hey, Jacob.
What up?
I'm gonna need to step away for maybe 2 or 3 laps here.
Okay.
Real quick. I forgot I had to do something. I'm gonna round through it as quickly as I can to get back.
All's good.
Alright, I'll be back.
Atley takes a pretty dominant lead here over his teammate Scott Speed as they're coming to close on lap number 2 here. Atley looks to be the one who's going to get credited with leading lap number 2. This honestly reminds me a lot of like a Le Mans circa 1960s. The way it's, it's so wide open. You've got so many dangerous spots on this track where if the drivers went off, it would be an ugly off. 41 of Cooper into 3rd. Tim Cording dropping a little bit here. But it's all Atley at the front of the field as he's looking to close up on his 2nd lap here with what should be an even faster lap than his 1st lap, where he set fast lap. With the 20 laps at the track here today, sitting at about 6 minutes a lap on average. If you look at our minutes, we're going to be sitting at about 120 minutes, so almost a 2-hour race. This is definitely one of those races that it tests the grit and determination of these young rising stars. They're going to have to earn it here today and put on world-class racing to get the job done. Yep, Atley just turned a 5:38.4, so he dipped into the qualifying time lap records there. In the meantime, it's Scott Speed in 2nd. And I'm going to do a follow through in the running order while looking at our ticker here. Cooper Dwight in 3rd. Kyler Sestre in 4th. Kyle Ottawa in 5th. Jack Davis in 6th. Cannon Gage in 7th. Noah Hobson in 8th. Hobson desperately needs some good finishes here in the last couple races. If he can get a good finish here and in the next race in a couple weeks, he could be that next driver to get in on wins, as he's sitting outside top 25 in points right now, unfortunately. Walkner, Xavier, Escobar, and John Hagan, your top 15. It's going to be a hard day for your points leader, who got involved in that first wreck, and he's going to lose massive points here today in New Zealand. Atley running down a dream here. If he can get the 4-peat, he'll join a list that only knows 2 drivers so far. Monte Shangle has gotten 4 wins in a row last year with the Cup Series. Al Bunch had a 4-peat at the end of the 2022 Busch Light season, this very series as it's been renamed to Bridge to Cup. And so Atley looking to be the second driver in Bridge to Cup action to potentially pull off this feat. It's a hard feat to pull off no matter what. You're going to have to, count your blessings that it's gotten to this point with 3 in a row. It's going to be interesting to see what fuel strategy pans out here. Took Atley a couple races, but it looks like he could potentially be the odds-on favorite now over Dave Steele Jr., who's putting in some struggling races in the last couple weeks. Man, that's an impressive lap, a 5:39 flat. That takes some uber luck there to put together the perfect .000 lap like that. Actually, he was faster than your second place driver, Scott Speed. So Dwight Cooper looking to try and close the gap to second place and fight for an overall win here today. Atley's going to lead the next lap here. He'll lead lap number 3 in the books, it looks like. Atley, we still your fastest car on track with a 5:38. Well, it looks like we do have green flag pit stops now. The 95 had to come down pit road. He gives up second place to make this pit stop. Meantime, it is still Atley out front leading, so Atley's going to be able to push it on the longer run here. Perhaps has the fuel mileage to stretch it a little bit longer. Pitting on lap 3 basically turns this into about a 6 pit stop race. Atley could make it a 5 pit stop race at 4 here. So definitely a lot of gamesmanship going on. Atley knows for a fact he's got the fastest car. He actually dropped off a full second on his last lap. Went from a 5:38.4 to a 5:39.8. So the track definitely taking its toll on this 84 car with 3 hard laps of non-stop running here. I imagine we might see Atley come down pit road this next time. But if anything, if he tries to stretch it to lap 5, he could make this on a 4-stop race. So there's a lot of altering potential strategies that could pan out here today. This long front stretch here, they're getting up to 205 miles an hour. That's an insane stretch of roadway there. Longest roadway in all of Sigma racing. 205 miles an hour, and then they hang a hard left onto the dirt. Okay, so we're coming to the close of yet another lap here around the Rallycross circuit of New Zealand. And we'll see if Atley makes a turn for pit road this time or if he's going to stretch it another lap. You know, when you're hot, Usually there's very little that can come to stop you, and Atley has been on one hell of a tear here in the past week. For those of you that may not have been following the last couple weeks, let's give you a rundown on Atley's last 3 race stretch here and what it's looked like. So Atley came into this without being a total lock-in for the chase, and was given the ultimatum that if he gets a win and stays within the top 16 in the points, he would be guaranteed a spot in the chase. And the only reason that ultimatum came about is because he's filling in for a driver that departed from the series. So this 84 car used to be driven by GP Luxembourg. Luxembourg had earned some points already. The car points remained unchanged, but the driver would inherit the position, but only be allowed to race in the chase if he could get a win. And points would not be enough to lock him in. So, took him a while. Atley had a struggle getting that first win. He's been running for about 8 races total so far. And maybe actually about 12. And then after getting an 18th, a 25th, a 3rd at the first rallycross track that he had contested, an 11th at Knoxville, a 19th at Talladega, a 5th at the dirt track in Lakewood, a 25th at Iowa, which was kind of a bummer deal. And then Glen Helen, his second rallycross track, he ended up finishing 4th. So it seems like Atley has a bit of a knack for these rallycross style tracks. It was after Glen Helen that his big break came, and he ended up winning at Williams Grove after leading 127 of the 150 150 laps. Then his second win came at Kentucky, where he led 43 of the 173 laps. And just a couple days ago at COTA, where he led all 14 of the laps to get the win from the pole there. And so far he's led 3 laps here today in New Zealand, and he still hasn't pitted yet. So this stretch where he stretched it to lap 5 of 20, he could turn this into a 3 pit stop race now, because he won't have to pit on the last lap of the race, obviously. So he can go, if he can go to lap 5, he'll be able to pit at lap 10 and lap 15 after that. He's honestly sitting in the catbird seat right now for this number 84 BMW. Let's compare that up to our last year with Monte Shangle, who had a 4-peat. Obviously, we don't race rallycross tracks in our Cup Series, but Monte had a 4-peat with Texas, Phoenix, Ricky Raceway, and Kentucky. So it was kind of sprinkled in there. You had 2 cookie cutter tracks of Texas and Kentucky, a short track of Phoenix, and a super speedway from Ricky Raceway Super Speedway. And then go back even a couple years in this Bridge to Cup series, what was then known as the Sylvania Busch Light series. Al Bunch had not won very many races, and then he went on a 4-race bender at the end of the year, winning at Rockingham, Chicagoland, Gateway, and the Daytona International Road Course. And so compare that up with Atley, who's actually done it on a wider span of, you know, very talent-intensive tracks with, you know, a dirt oval, a road course, and a cookie cutter. So Kentucky was involved in all three of those, it looks like. If you look back, Monte Shangle got one of his wins at Kentucky, I think. Correct. Wow, what a strange connection there. Kentucky and Al Bunch did not get his win didn't get a win at Kentucky. He got him at Rockingham, Chicagoland, Gateway, and the Daytona Road Course. This is going to be impressive for Atley to have 4 wins on 4 very, very different tracks. Don't count the chickens though before they've hatched, because there's still a lot of racing here. Even though he's on a very great strategy call here, it looks like Atley's going to be a tough one to beat. He's got an insanely huge lead over the 24 of Kyler Sustre. And here we go. First pit stop here on lap 5. We'll keep our eyes on Atley here to see how quickly he can get in and out of pit road. See how many drivers are actually retired. 98 of Krista Cower out of the race. The 6 of Kat Durham out. 48 of Luis Rodriguez. The 1 of Alan Malcolm. The 19 of Bradley Ream, who's second in the points. And the 35 of Dave Steele Jr., who is your points leader, with Ryan Little also out of the race from that first lap crash. Atley makes pretty quick pit stop there, fixes a little bit of damage it seems like, as he was a little bit slower to get off. But the one thing you notice there, no one moved past him on the exit. Even Kyler Sustre comes back out in second here. Can't engage in third. Wow, Scott Speed lost a lot of time from his pit stop. Actually, maybe there's something going wrong with this 95. He had a slow 5:45 after his pit stop. His lap times have fallen way off. So that 95 is not as good as it once was. Cannon Gage looking to make up a lot of points here today. Well, I guess even Atley Weiss, his lap times have fallen off significantly. It's just the wear and tear that this track knocks out of these cars. This jump here is brutal each time. They give a jump right into the water. And after tonight, there's only one race left in the regular season for these Bridge to Cup stars. And what's even more impressive is with Dave Steele struggling here today, it's going to be interesting to see if Atley actually climbs up the point standings and is potentially in contention to win the overall regular season championship. That would be pretty crazy if he could pull it off. He's currently 161 points back of Dave Steele Jr. A perfect race nets you 58 points. So unfortunately, now that I'm doing the calculating, there's no way he's going to catch Dave Steele Jr. But Scott Speed, on the other hand, he could potentially catch Dave Steele Jr. and take the overall regular season championship. Now with our Bridge to Cup series, the way it works, the chase is actually a bracket. And so based on your seeding from finishing in the regular season, if you're number 1 seed, you get head-to-head matchups with the easiest line of difficulty. So your number 16 seed will have to race head-to-head with the number 1 seed. And each head-to-head race will basically treat it like baseball. So you'll get either, if you win that head-to-head match, you'll be 1-0. If you lose that head-to-head match, you'll be 0-1. Our chase will be 5 races long. The first 4 races are all head-to-head matchups, so we determine who gets the winningest records in the head-to-head matchup. And anyone that has above 500 or even at 500, so if someone finishes with a 2-2 record, they will be locked in to the championship finale, where just like real life NASCAR, it's going to be winner takes all. You don't necessarily have to win the race either. It's just going to be if you perform better than your other competitors that have made it to that final race. So honestly, it really adds some interesting wrinkles to this championship battle when you're going to throw in head-to-head matchups in the bracket. Those first 4 races will determine who gets to win the championship. Next year, I plan to at least make it 5 races in the head-to-head matchup section, so that you can't have anyone at 500. It would be either have a winning record or a losing record. 3-2 or 2-3 at the worst, or at the best. You can't have 2.2 and 2.2. There's no such, or 2.5 and 2.5. There's no such thing as half winning, half losing. Talking about half, we're not even halfway through this race. Lap 6 of 20, about to be lap 7 of 20. And these guys are in it for the long haul now. Atley proven why he belongs in this Bridge to Cup series this season. Ooh, the battle for third heating up. Way back there though, as you see Atley's already cruising off to the front stretch. Here comes Sestre, Speed. It's actually a neat looking battle here. We'll see right at the start finish line, is Kyler Sestre pulling off to go to pit road? Yes, he is. Sestre pulls down pit road here. He's on the extra long pit strategy of pitting about every 3 laps. That's going to be a rough one for him.
I am back, my friend. Sorry, that took me a minute.
No worries, I just got back to my computer too. Nice thing having my stream going in another room, I can hear the broadcast and it's like, oh, time to get back to the computer. Haven't missed a whole lot. It's been Atley Weiss at the front still dominating. I'll catch you up real quick. The one thing that he does have going for him, he stretched it longer than...
I was just going to say, I heard he came in and had time to get out before anybody even got close to him.
So he's definitely got the best pit strategy going on to be able to stretch it to lap 5. Now, impressively, Scott Speed could be potentially flirting with the overall regular season championship since Dave Steele wrecked out today. So, with one race left in the regular season for these guys, it's really only down to Dave Steele Jr. and Scott Speed based on the points as they run. But right there, Scott Speed in third would be able to knock the points gap to the lead in half to basically all Dave Steele Jr. needs to do next week at Pocono, well, next race at Pocono, is not DNQ or DNF like he did here today. So what's your takeaway from the track that we were able to find a quick... What do you think about this track, James?
I think we have a good race. I think our slight problem here is that we have a lot of laps still.
Right.
And things are kind of spread out. I think we need to find some way to create more racing here. Because it's a good track and it's fun, but it's really long.
Well, and the way that the long stretches, that's where they open up. Without restrictor plates, these cars really do get to separate themselves from each other.
Yeah, they get to separate each other really fast.
And that one long stretch I was watching, they were getting up to 204 miles an hour, which is crazy. You're not going to see that with most of your other forms of motorsport that do rallycross racing like this. Maybe. Might see it right at about 200.
Maybe.
I think the only solution would be to actually put restrictor plates on a road course to get closer racing, at least. Pit strategy, though, has kept this race somewhat interesting because we've seen the 95 shuffle way back. He's on a shorter pit leash than Atley Weiss. He's pitting about every 4 laps. So he's going to make this race last a little bit longer on his behalf because he's got to make so many more pit stops.
I think our biggest loser right now has to be the 50 of Tim Gordon. He's all the way down to 18th right now, last I saw.
50.
14th now.
A camshaft failure for Noah Hobson, that's going to cost him. And radiator damage for the 78 of Andrew Moger.
Nice to see that Tom's still managing to roll on after having to be towed back to pit lane.
And he'll pick up 2 more spots with the retirements there in 19th and 23rd. See, if I made my own custom track, I would execute a long stretch like this and make it would be cool to have a Martinsville with 2 long stretches like this and a little hairpin turn like this is right here, but do like basically a mini well, not a mini Martinsville, like a ginormous Martinsville. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool to see.
Because basically it'd turn into like a big drag race once they get out of the hairpin or the paper clip, watching as the cars with all the horses run down the long front stretch and back stretch.
Yeah, we've got a horse track around here that I think it'd be fun to watch. Be turned into a dirt track for a night.
We'll have to do some digging to see if we can find a goof track like that. I keep thinking it wouldn't be that hard to build tracks, but man, it's very time consuming and laborious. I applaud everyone that does make tracks because it's for this game.
It's not easy work. I looked into trying to do it. It's not easy. It's not as easy as you would think it would be for a track or for a game that's as old as NR is.
Well, and you'd also have to become an expert at learning the AI and figuring out how to set up the AI to actually race on a track that you create. So yeah, no,
exactly.
There's a lot to it. Looks like somewhere in the midst of all this, Atley picked up a little bit of damage going through the jumps and bumps.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking on the right side there.
And he's catching lap traffic.
Could end up getting taken out by accident.
Yeah, if you ask Al Bunch, that's happened too much this season. Al Bunch had a win at a few different tracks if it hadn't been for lap traffic that cost it. Yeah, in our Cup Series, if Atley, or not Atley, but Al, if Al had won all the races that he was contesting strong for, he'd have about 8 wins in our 17 races run so far. Instead,
That's
however,
kind of an insane stat,
right? Instead, however, he's got 5 wins. If I go back and look here, let's see. North Wilkesboro, he started on pole, led 50 laps, ended up getting a little bit of damage, finished 18th. So North Wilkesboro would have been a race that he should have won. That would have been win number 6. He finished second at Brands Hatch, but it wasn't necessarily a winning run. He just he got outdid at Brands Hatch. Dover is the one that hurts the worst because he was leading in about 100 and some laps into the race, getting through lap traffic. Lap cars wreck right in front of him and wiped him out from the lead. So that would have been win number 7. And then Riverside International Raceway, he was leading, and a lap car comes off pit road and just plows right in the side of him, and it was enough damage to retire him right there on the spot. That would have been win number 8. And you could probably even say he had a few other races that he had, shots at winning. But he's on such a skid right now that he's had a 33rd, a 37th, and a 40th. So he's encompassing that very spirit of checkers or wreckers. We did have a lead change here as Cannon Gage stayed out a lap longer than Atley Weiss. This could be a beneficial move from the 51 team there. We'll see. Seems like Atley wasn't able to get near as much fuel on that last run, so he had to pit a lap early. He pit on lap 5 and lap 9, so if he's able, he needs to make it another 5 laps this time to run the rest of the way to the finish. So far, Cannon Gage is winless this season, but it hasn't been for a lack of trying. He's had a few shots at victory that have just been snabbed last minute from him. Wow, he just turned his fastest lap, which is a 5:41.176. He really hasn't had the pace here today. When you put into perspective that Atley's fastest lap was a 5:38.4. But towards the end of the race here, it doesn't look like speed is much of a factor since these cars are getting wore down pretty quickly. The beating and banging of the very grueling dirt and bumps. Yeah, even though the racing's kind of spread out, at least the scenery makes it pretty much worth something here today. Oh, you got a little bit of more damage on that jump there, it looks like. I wonder if that had anything to do with him pitting early. Maybe the damage sustained from the jumps forced them to go down pit road early. Wow, there is a huge gap from Cannon Gage back to Atley. You didn't even see Atley in the picture. Could hear him in the background, though. I'm wagering that this 51 is going to have to dip down pit road this time.
Which strategy are they on there?
They're
The 4 or the
on,
5?
I think, the 4. And here he comes down pit road. So yeah, let's see where he made his last pit stop. Lap 6.
So he's on a 3-stop three-lap strategy.
He actually spent 2 laps on pit road. He had an extra pit stop in the middle there, and somehow,
No, he bit it twice. That's what happened there.
yeah,
He bit it twice.
wow.
Quick refuel, probably. I don't know. Who knows?
4th,
Quick.
5th, 6th. That's how I was able to stretch it at least a lap longer than Atley.
Yep.
But the thing is, now Atley is going to be able to stretch it just that much longer. Oh, Atley had to make another pit stop? How did he lose so much time? Must have been from repairs. He must have had about a minute lost on pit stop. Yeah, from repairing that damage the last pit stop, he lost a whole minute.
Yep.
But now he's got the lead back, even though it shows him in second. The 51 was on pit road when he came across start-finish line with the lead at that moment. So I'm going to go ahead and save it halfway here. Wow, Cannon Gage is actually losing a lot of time. Ouch. Goes from leading a lap to now getting trapped on pit road here. That's a tough break for the 51. They must have had something go wrong. Something go south with the car there that they're taking such a long time on pit road to fix it. There goes Tim Cording, quick pit stop in and out. Looks like he's going to remain on the lead lap here even. So 10 laps in the books, 10 laps to go here tonight. just based on how hard it is to lead laps here, at halfway, Atley's probably just about led most laps tied up. With the other couple drivers that did lead, Cannon Gage, it doesn't look like he's going to lead any more laps. And I can't remember if we had a different lap leader. But even if we did, I don't think they are in contention with the amount of laps that Atley has led here today.
We are on lap, I think, 12.
Currently lap 10.
Yeah, we should be seeing pit stops again here within the next lap or two from some people.
It's kind of hard to follow the tracker because when you have people pit, I mean, the last lap was 5 minutes ago. So Cannon Gage, even though he led the lap 5 minutes ago, it's that running order, it might not be very accurate. Second place is Dwight Cooper. Third place, Osiel Escobar. Holy cow, what a race for Osiel Escobar there.
Looks like we actually have a battle back here, though. We might want to
Keep our eyes.
here for this for a little bit.
Looks like Osiel Escobar leads over David Bird and Jack Davis. That 13 starting to close up the gap a little bit to the 8 in front of him. Atley makes it past start-finish line and is now credited back with the lead. Now, this 3-car battle, are we going to see any of them take down pit road? Looks like Escobar maybe. Osiel Escobar heading down pit road. Under the 10th lap completed. Seems to be more and more mechanical failures with so many of those cars trapped on pit road at the moment. It's a good battle here between the 13 and the 09. That 09 has a full head of steam. He's going to make a move on the downhill dirt section here. And he closes the door on the 13 of David Bird. Crazy. So many of these drivers turning their fastest laps here later in the race. Last lap for David Bird, 5:42.7 was his best lap.
I hope that sound didn't come up on stream. Apologies if it did.
Yet at the front, it's still Atley doing what Atley do. Oh, wow. Cooper Dwight had a terrible pit stop. How the heck? Or did Atley go down pit road again? No way, Atley did. He went down pit road on lap 11, and he ended up losing the lead to Cooper Dwight. So the twists and turns keep on coming here tonight. Atley, it looks like maybe makes a quick gas and go. wasn't very quick. Man, he stayed on there for a while. But now he's got a gap to close on the 41 of Dwight. Cooper Dwight, he's turning 539s. This is definitely the most interesting unstrategy. Did he have a hiccup there? Why is he going so slow? Oh, it's just the tough part of the track, that's why. He really got down to 25 miles an hour there, though. That, I don't think, was on purpose. See, even Atley stuck it and kept it in the 50. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how the pit strategies turn to nearly almost every 2 to 3 laps for some of these drivers now. Now we'll see if the 41 dips down pit road. He's going to stay out, so Cooper Dwight with the lead here on lap 12. Atley Weiss has got his work cut out for him. He needs to try and stay out and make up some of that time that he's lost. Yep, another 6-minute lap because Atley had to make that pit stop. Dang, I think Atley's actually catching up here little by little.
It looks like it. I mean, Atley's had one heck of a car all day long. Sorry about that. Forgot I had turned up the volume for a second. Yeah, he's had a heck of a car all day long, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him catching up.
Hasn't been any strange mechanical failures here. So we'll get an idea of when Cooper Dwight made his last pit stop. Man, he's on a long stretch. He went last on lap 8. He's gone 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if he pits this time around, he could make it all the way to nearly 18 for his last pit stop. Atley, on the other hand, he needs to stretch it a little bit longer here. He got cute with his pit stops and made back-to-back pit stops there for what I assume was only repairs, because he was on lap 8. Maybe he looked ahead at the strategy and figured that he was on the same strategy as the 41 car, having pitted on lap 8 like that. Comes in on lap 10, which buys himself enough time to make it all the way to the finish now. So if he goes 5, he'll be able to run all the way to the finish now without having to make another pit stop.
Yeah, his team could have very well realized after watching some of the other teams and went, hey, if we bring you down, this is going to sound so weird, but if we bring you down one more time right now, we can make it to the end.
Which, yeah, getting off strategy, that sometimes is the big, the big change, big game move. This 41, it's gonna be not ideal to make a pit stop at lap 18 where you've only got 2 laps to go. But it's looking a lot like that's probably his route to the finish here today. So hopefully Atley can stick to his guns and run another 3 laps past here. It looks like the 41 should be pitting this time. As you see at the top of your screen, top left corner, he is not pitting. So that 41's found a little bit extra juice in the tank. They've been able to go 5 laps here. Fuel numbers still not in his favor here, because if he, man, it's gonna be tight. He might be pushing it till he runs out of gas at the end of the race here. And we gotta find Atley and see how his, yep, he's gonna stay out this lap. Man, Dwight Cooper could be really playing the odds here. He actually turned a faster lap than Atley that time around and stretched his lead out another second from 24-second lead to a 25-second lead.
It could be a case of they've figured out the fuel numbers, and if he's able to push for the rest of this lap here to extend the gap, and then they're gonna come in, and what he has after this is gonna be what he has.
The only thing that Atley might have in his favor is he could maybe wait to make it a gas and go on lap 16 at the latest. That might be the longest he can stretch it. And if he's able to gain any time from doing a gas and go, it's interesting enough that this 41 is not a contender for the championship as he joined so late in the season. But with one win to his name already, he could be looking like a high-end acquisition for a team next season if anyone wants to take a swing.
Well, Jacob, I'd say given that we only have we're coming to 6 to go here. What are your thoughts on the Cording brothers' first appearance here in the British Cup Series?
Well, at least they're both still running. Tim in 7th at the moment, trying to salvage a decent finish out of it. Tom, a couple laps down. Honestly, with the way Audi has been performing this season, they're already a notch above on what Audi has been putting down. So I would consider it a mild victory for the Audi team and for the Cording brothers, given the turmoil that the team has been in recently. I think
it's like it kind of feels to me like Tim's doing what the Cording brothers are probably going to do the rest of the season, whereas Tom unfortunately got the luck that Audi's been having all season long already.
Well, and I was thinking too, it's probably going to be like an onion. You've got layers to it. We're right now on the outside layer. The more we peel in, the more we'll uncover every layer of that onion, and it's gonna be a couple races before I think we see the true form. This track is just tough enough that it's almost a speed track. It's dependent on the teams that have had the fastest cars this year, and Audi, they've slowly been improving their engine package. But I think where Tim and Tom are really going to shine is when you take speed out of the equation. Even Pocono, Pocono in the next race of the season, it's not like Daytona where it's got 200 miles, but there is unrestricted power at Pocono. But it's not like you're getting to see them up to 205 miles an hour either. So Pocono, I think, will be a good gauge.
It kind of feels to me more like this series is more geared towards what Tom is good at instead of what Tim is good at.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting if it doesn't turn into a bit of Tim's really good at the rallycross tracks, but really Bridge to Cup is probably Tom's series.
Right.
I really do think it's probably just a case of he had some real bad luck today.
Yeah, we didn't get a good shot of what he could do here, having get caught up in the wreck.
Whereas we've saw Tim fight all day and not really have a lot. He had good speed in qualifying, yeah, but I mean, other than that, his car wasn't the best.
Here we go, the 41 making his pit stop now. We'll see if he has to make any extensive repairs on it for damage sustained around the rallycross track here. It's actually amazing that none of those cars have truly retired yet. They're just sitting there on pit road. And I think that's considered to be a pit road glitch. We've seen a few other tracks before, but at least we've still got our fastest cars out there competing. Here, Atley. No, not Atley. That's the 4. Nares Atley as Atley blows by. Oh, that's going to be scary. Harry, a 4 coming right out in front of Atley there. So it looks like from 25 seconds down to 15-second advantage, they're losing about 40 seconds on a pit stop here.
Yeah, they're probably doing a little bit of extensive work just because the laps are a little bit longer. They have a little bit more time to do some stuff on pit lane.
Right. Which honestly, though, Cooper Dwight didn't have a half bad pit stop there. He was able to come out pretty quickly and not lose too much time to Atley. Atley's lap times are what's a little bit scary, though. He's had one of the best cars here today, but it has fallen off a cliff when pertaining to lap times here. He is nearly 10 seconds off his fastest lap, even on a standard lap. So you set it up fast. The problem with setting up a car fast is you'll usually burn it up quicker. You almost want to have that mid-range car that'll come to you towards the end of a race rather than a car that's strong out of the gates and wears itself out. So one thing for sure is Cooper Dwight might have to fuel save a little bit here, while Atley on the other hand will be able to make it with one more pit stop and make it comfortably. Cooper Dwight on the other hand, 5 laps is going to be pushing it. Just because I keep forgetting the fuel numbers here. He was last on 8. Went 5 laps. So, yeah, it almost looks like he's going to have to pit again on lap 19 if those numbers match up, which will be...
He could very well be saving fuel in the downhill sections.
Right?
Of the track.
Yeah, might we see another Joey Logano-esque masterclass saving of fuel?
I mean, it'd be the first time I've seen it now, but I know it can happen. I guess I'd say first time in a while I've seen it happen. Doesn't happen very often where they just let themselves run out like that.
Well, and everything's a little bit different when you've got a 12.12 mile race course like this one.
Yeah, you tend to take a little bit more risque gambles.
Which I think is also why we've seen so many head scratchers for pit stops. You'll see someone come in 2 laps later, but honestly, I think that's their crew chief up on the pit box saying, "Hey, we need to meet these numbers. If you pit now, we can make it, make it work."
Well, yeah, and I wonder if some of them have been flirting with seeing how far they can go, while some of them have been being like, "Let's just cut it at 3, 4 laps. not take any chances for now, and then in the end, we'll try to see how far we can go,
Man,
depending on where we're sitting.
look at Tim Cording actually gained a spot up to 6th. Tom at 16th right now, not too bad.
No, he salvaged a halfway decent finish out of the day, but from what could have been.
Lap traffic duking it out with Atley. That's mildly discerning when you've got a lap car that's almost running faster than your leader. So perfect case scenario for Atley is he'll be able to stay out one more lap here, and he'll be sitting pretty solid. Nice. It's the early stop here, so it's gonna be tight for Atley even to make it 5 more laps. He's gonna be running out of fuel on the last lap. Is probably what's gonna be. See, last was on pit road on lap 10. Yep. Dude, he might be pulling down pit road with the lead. The only advantage would be that his pit stall is on the other side of the start-finish line. And he could potentially win it from pit road. So we'll see how that.
I could see us having a few guys that do it that way.
Oh no, the 41 had to pit again. Oh, that flips
no.
everything. Oh, he just took a quick gas and go. Look at, we're gonna have a
The 84 's
two-dog
on two.
fight. They're on equal playing ground now. That was, dude, that was a move. It was ballsy. 41 was like, I'm not going to be able to make it. I cannot make it on fuel. I need to pit now. So he came down.
Got a fight on our hands now.
And this is honestly the best way to close it out, to give them equal playing ground and let them earn it.
Absolutely. No, I don't think any of these guys want to win it by the amount of time our leader had at one point.
As we've been taking notes on, Atley's pace has been way off. And so I don't know if on fresher tires here than the 41, if that's going to help any. Look at Atley just kind of coasting around the corner there while the 41 is pushing the gas pedal as hard as he can. Yeah, Atley very gingerly driving that 84 car. Perhaps a little bit of fuel saving going on there. Still a possibility that that 41 didn't get enough fuel from that quick gas and go either. He didn't spend very much time on pit road when he dipped down this last time. This will tell a lot. The downhill, long straightaway. He's at 195. Atley only at about 194 by the same mile marker. He only reaches 201. Atley 202. It's a hair faster on the long stretch there. And then you got third place, Jack Davis, in the mix now.
Yeah, He's not far back behind him either. So we could just very well still see a 3-dog fight for this if things play out the right way.
Wow. Oh no, the 41 got stuck in the mud puddle there. Ooh! Atley cruises through the mud puddle. That was a boo-boo. Looks like Dwight was able to recover from his...
I was just gonna say, it looks like he kept it rolling, but jeez, I don't like how that road goes straight. Imagine somebody misses that.
right?
Leader coming out of the exit of that corner and just gets cleaned out.
Or yeah, someone just forgets that there's a left-hand turn there. He could be very deceiving. Yeah, at least things have settled into a battle for the win. This just goes to show
I
you
just noticed the little house back there.
Oh, is there one
the lone house back there in that corner? Yeah.
nestled? Let me go. Where at?
You'll see it. It'll be in the transition here.
That'd be a cool house to have. Right. Yep, right there.
Right there.
Couple buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a nice place to watch the race from. Did Cooper Dwight pull down pit road? He did.
Yes, he did.
Oh boy. I wonder if that hiccup after he hit the puddle, if there had to be something that kind of broke
I'm
on the
wondering
car.
if he maybe did some suspension damage to it.
Man, that takes away a battle for the win here, as that 41 is stuck on pit road. Isn't there a program that'll tell you mechanical failures even if the chat log doesn't?
I believe there is. Like
There's...
a replay editor or something.
I thought had you heard about the one that there's like it'll tell you pit road, what the cars are doing on pit road for like repairs, or why it sits on pit road for how long it does?
I have not heard of that one, no.
Let's call up good old Reddit here. What's your experience with auto stages? Have you used it before?
I've not used auto stages. No.
Yeah, I'll have to do some more digging another time or see if I bookmarked it anywhere. I could have swore that there was something similar to like better cautions that you could use in NR2003, and it would actually be like a live tracker on what the status of AI are doing on pit road. But I could be making things up. I could add a wild dream about NR2003 that involved that as well. So I don't know.
I mean, entirely possible. I mean, there's all. It's entirely possible it's out there. There's all kinds of things for NR out there that are really neat, helpful tools.
Lap 17 of 20, so we're getting really close here. 09, 3.9 seconds back. This race far from over. Hopefully Atley can make it the rest of the way without having to make a pit stop. Now, impressive note here with Jack Davis is he's only had a couple wins this season and is up to 5th in the points. His 2 wins have come at road courses. So at Daytona International Road Course and Willow Springs International Raceway. So perhaps that skill set carrying over here to the rallycross track. He's closing the gap on Atley. Holy cow, look at that. Atley and him turned very similar lap times, a 5:43.7 for Atley, 5:43.3 for Jack Davis. But something's telling me that this lap is going to be a lot quicker when you compare the two of them. I don't think Atley's going to have the luxury of being able to pit on lap 20 to win this race. If that 09 is that close behind, the 09 might pass him if he makes a pit stop on the last lap. And we'll do our same assessment here on what lap Jack Davis last pitted. He last pitted on lap 14. So just like the 41 of Cooper Dwight, looks like his best bet is probably making it to lap 19 here. Oh, but that's raises a question there. If he made it to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that's still 5 laps. Five laps really is the money mark here today. Which I'm surprised we didn't see any driver just run a perfect 5-lap stretch each part. You know, it would have been ideal to spread it out on lap 5, lap 10, and lap 15 for what would be a 3-stop race. But almost everyone here had to make 4 or 5 pit stops en route to where they are now. It's not like Formula One where they have to go from one tire compound to the other. If for whatever reason Atley needs to pit again, the 95 of Scott Speed is 25 seconds back. And his window is pretty much closed. He last pitted on lap 16. So this might be the driver that oh, yeah, it's a good thing we saved the replay because I've never seen that logo before. James, have you?
What's up?
Have you ever seen that logo before? I've never.
No, can't say I have. Hold on.
So it stopped writing the replay once we got so far along. That's what I've encountered before. So where I saved the last replay at about 59 minutes, this race, I'm going to have to make a second save on replay because right there, 51 minutes, we're only going to have the first 51 minutes are gone. other than the fact that I saved the first half. So I'll actually do that right now so that we don't lose any sign of footage in case we ever have to go back and look at any individual laps or anything for official record purposes. Part 2. So I have no idea the pit stops back before lap 9. Looks like we were good for Atley staying out another lap here. So lap 18 in the books, Atley staying out. 41 of Dwight sustained enough damage to that car that he's just parked it on pit road here. Scott Speed stays out. Ouch, 56 seconds out of the lead.
Look who's made his way up to the top 5 with everybody else's misfortune, though.
Nice.
Well, at this rate, what's Tom gonna sneak his way out of here with?
Not bad.
14's not a bad, no, not bad at all.
Which, if you look at it, the 49 and the 46. There's the 49. And there's the 46. So he could get up even as high as 11th.
Yeah, if he gets off pit lane, which he's in right now.
He just can't lose any more laps.
I'd say Audi should be pretty happy with at least a top 5 off rip like that.
Yeah, definitely out of the gate with a top 5 and potentially almost a top 11. Ooh, Atley, he hurt his car a little bit there too, just like the 41. The only good thing is
big slowdown there.
We're down to only 2 more laps. All Atley's got to do is close it out here. Look at the 09 right there in his rear view mirror. By all indications, that 09 is going to have to pit this time, though. Even though he's closed the gap. I think Atley just...
We'll see. He might try to push it. We are getting ready to come to 1 to go next time by. Not this time by, but next time.
I think Atley's just saving his fuel right now. He knows that he doesn't have to push it, just playing the fuel card.
That was my thought with the 09 was it took him a very decently long time to catch him. I'm wondering if he, like I said, I'm wondering if on the downhills he wasn't saving fuel to try to make it from where he pit last.
Right. So if this battle tightened up right here, we'll see what the 09 does.
If the 09 goes in, Atley can just clutch and coast anywhere he wants at this point. After that.
Definitely, yeah.
As long as he doesn't make a mistake and bin it, this race is done and dusted.
Wow, look at Tim Courting up to 4th. Who dropped out? It's
The 26, it looks like, maybe.
okay.
Maybe?
Oh, wow, what happened to the... Did we see that from earlier? Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, it's been damaged for a while. But it looks like...
Yeah, I don't think Tim has any damage, so he might have just caught the 26 outright.
Well, Tim hit that slowdown bug there, too. Coming through the... Ooh, oofty.
Looks like that's just what happens if you come over that jump poorly.
Oh, the 09's going to push it. He's going to run it until it runs dry.
What did I tell you? I think he's been saving. I really do.
But the problem now is he's pushing the envelope. If that 09's going to be running this hard, he's going to be pushing it on gas too. He might make a move for the lead here and just kind
Depends
of
on how well he's been saving though.
roll the dice. I mean, yeah.
Like I said, it took him a good long while to catch up to Atley, so. And I'm pretty sure the 09 was one of those cars that had the double pit stop, wasn't he?
Yeah, a few of these guys did. Oh, they're side by side. 2 blue cars. It's hard to tell which one's which. You just got to know which one is where. Atley gets passed from the lead there here on lap 19. That is impressive. Wow, look at the exit speed there. The 09 drove away from Atley. So you think it's been happening here on this downhill where they've been saving fuel?
Yeah, I think in like these big downhill sections where it's like you could clutch and coast all the way down for quite a while before you actually had to get back on the throttle. You could mix in between the two even if you really had to.
Wow, that's a... Atley closed the gap again.
We'll just have to wait and see. If he's gonna come in, it's gonna have to be this time. Because it'd be really foolish of him to come in next lap and just throw away the win like that.
Right. Yeah, you go for broke, you know. Run it till it runs dry and, you know, just lament the fact.
If he runs out in the wrong area, we could see Tim Courting get a podium out of this deal yet.
Right.
Ooh, that was a hard drop for Atley.
Yeah, these guys definitely putting these cars through a thrashing here tonight. The only thing here is this 09 is going to be pushing it very, very far on the fuel numbers here. Last pit stop was lap 14, so 6 laps. We have not seen anyone go 6 laps yet, I don't think.
Yeah, but we've seen everybody go on that borderline. So, what's the harm in the end here in seeing if it can do it?
Right?
Cutting the line off at that 5 laps and going, all right, now on this 6th one, on this final drive, we're gonna push it.
Well, and the cold hard facts is that Atley has 1 more lap to the good. But that doesn't always mean anything. Those BMWs could be cycling through more fuel than the Mazda is. So you start to look at those factors kicking in too. I could see a scenario here where both of these guys pit, and with about 40 seconds, that would bring Scott Speed into the mix. But even then, it's not perfectly guaranteed 40 seconds. They might stay on pit road for another 50 seconds. And then you'd be looking at Scott Speed in the mix. Right here is the moment of truth as they're going to be coming up towards the white flag here. Has the 09 saved enough fuel? Has Atley Weiss saved enough fuel?
Imagine neither of them saved enough fuel.
Oh, they're gonna go for it.
Going for broke. Here we go.
Man, the 09.
I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of been waiting all day long for somebody to just overshoot that exit just a little.
Now it's Atley's turn to try and use the fuel that he's been building up in reserve.
Yeah, to see if he can try to run him back down. I think in this big downhill section, we'll see him catch back up. I think we're going to see one heck of a battle coming to the end here.
Look at that. Look at that. He has closed the gap in a hurry.
Huge run.
I think this was a game of cat and mouse. Atley was simply setting back and reserving his fuel for one last charge at the end of it. The 09, I'm pretty sure, is hearing on his radio that they need to save, save, save. He's been pushing it too hard to take the lead away from Atley.
I don't think so. I think they're both good on fuel. I think maybe he's saving through the downhill sections here, where Atley's not using much power himself either. So Atley might not have to save in these low power sections and roll through the way that the 09 is.
Ooh,
but
that was clean through that section.
I think that's what the 09 is doing, is just down through the downhill sections where he can, in low speed areas, save more fuel.
It's going to come down to our long downhill long downhill straightaway for this race, I think.
I think that's where he pulls alongside of him.
And now, here we go, going down this long straightaway. The 09 stretching it on him.
Huge exit by the 09.
As they start shifting through the gears here, Atley has an opportunity here. They're letting gravity do the work now. Atley up to 204 miles an hour. 205 miles an hour.
He's gaining on him.
The 09's going to outbrake him, though, going into this turn. Oh, boy.
It's like Atley chickened out on braking for the corner just a little before the 09 did.
We do have that one spot where they tend to make a mild hiccup. That jump through the puddle section.
I was just gonna say we're coming up to that puddle section here, so this could completely change the game. This is where the 09 got Atley in the first place.
Oh, lap traffic too. Damn.
Oh, we're in for a race now. Ooh, bad jump for Atley.
Oh.
Oh, that was better. That second jump was a little bit better, but the 09 definitely got through that section a lot better than Atley did.
Oh, and they're gonna hit this lap traffic. There's no doubt about that. They're going 150 where they should be going about 200.
One of those things we don't notice and can't disqualify if we don't see it. Laps are long enough that they really don't interfere, so.
The funny part is we haven't seen lap traffic actually factor into this race yet today. Oh, is it sputtering?
I think. Oh. Is Atley sputtering? Are they both sputtering?
They're babying it, man. They're babying it. They're not even going to catch the lap traffic at this rate.
They're both running out. They're both running out of fuel. Are they even going to make it back to the finish?
Just a little while longer here, they.
I'm waiting to hear this engine just cut out. Where's Atley at? Oh, decent back. I think they're both out of fuel here.
That's all it took. The 09 with fuel strategy is going to steal the win from Atley Weiss here tonight.
I feel like there may have been a silent gentleman's agreement here to just let them have it so they can both make sure they fit across the line 1-2 here.
Yeah, Atley put up a fight. The 4-peat does not come to fruition. His own team entry, the 95 of Scott Speed, still finishing his final lap here. I'll be damned.
Actually looks like Cording was slowly gaining time on Scott Speed here.
Nice.
Looking at the times on the board there. Last time we checked, I believe Tim was at a 2:01, and the 95 was at a 48, I believe, or something.
So let's see. Oh, the 46 and the 49 got back out. Oh no, the 90 had to make a pit stop and fell another lap down, it looks like.
Looks like the 90 might have just gotten stuck.
These two, even after the race is finished, I'm surprised they have enough fuel in the tanks to even finish the after lap.
I don't know why. I've been waiting all day for one of the cars to like clip that like canyon corner and just fall into the abyss.
Surely they've got to run out of gas before they make it back around. If they could have went 6 or 7 laps, I don't know why they were pitting so often in the race.
Yeah. Because I don't think they saved that much. I mean, I know they probably saved quite a bit in the downhills, but yeah, they're losing power slowly here.
Oh yeah, they didn't even get up to 200. They're coasting it to finish.
Yeah.
Atley's gonna give him the pass here. Yeah, it's a
Nah, this is where he dumps him to show his displeasure.
Oh, they...
I heard it start dying there for a second.
Crazy part is we still have some drivers out here contesting for their final position. Especially if you have someone that had a mechanical failure right now, they could gain a spot or two.
Holmes gonna finally bring it home in 5th here.
Yeah, that's a move for position. The 41 gets by the 12. That would give Cooper 6th and Kosnoff 7th.
Well, Jacob, while we're on this very long cooldown lap, I think I'll take this opportunity to take my exit to make the wrap up a little bit smoother.
Okay.
This evening.
Well, thanks for hopping in with me on it. I know I apologize. It was a grueling one.
No,
You stuck around long enough to hear him.
Just long enough. Yep. They're like, "Oh, you're leaving? Well, at least let us give you the thing."
Yep. I'm amazed that BMW ate more fuel.
Now I might as well stick around for another minute just to see how far he gets.
That 09, he saved a shit. You were on top of that call there, man. You said the 09 was saving
a boatload. He probably saved a boatload through those sections, whereas Atley had to keep going. I don't know how he managed to save 4 laps of fuel, but this is one of those moments where when that thing finally stops, we need to go to the garage and see just how many laps of fuel these things were supposed to get.
Eight laps is what they suggest.
So that's why they were bugging out. That's why they were like, I don't know how long we should go on fuel. Because we're supposed to make it 8, but I wonder if that's why some teams came down a second time, is because they sent them out, went, I think we can make it, I think we can. And then they went, nah, come on, come back down. We're gonna give you another gallon.
Right? Oh, the '09 did it too. It's just
Yep, there
about
goes the 9.
maybe a mile or two extra fuel for that '09. They they put on a show here today.
Well, yeah, because just on the other side of this lake here, this giant lake here, is the pits.
Atley ain't even gonna make it that far.
No, he is done.
He's dead stick.
I think he made it exactly 75% of the way across the track. This will be the moment somebody comes through and just cleans our poor guy out.
Well,
All right, where's our '09 car?
he made it to pit road first because of tow truck. Oh, whoa. Yeah,
How
there's
fast
no
we
way
going?
he's gonna make it.
25. Oh man, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think you will though. I think you're right.
The friction of the dirt's gonna stop him.
I think we're gonna stop him dead in his tracks the minute he goes across. I think we may see our winner put his car in the lake, depending on how this plays out. He might put himself in the lake. In which case, you should. I was gonna say you should probably save just to be safe, but eh. If it looks like he's gonna go in the lake, just switch. Just switch cameras.
Oh, look at all the retirements at the end. The 41 didn't even make it all the way. It retired with a tire,
Nope.
but came down pit
Yeah.
road. 12 retired, 49, 46. 90 comes up for a 14th. So Tom
Not a
Courting,
bad finish.
top
Oh, here we go.
15.
Is it gonna happen? Oh, ho, ho.
Nervous moment.
But all
Well,
right. All the rest of our. Oh no, Tim's out, and he didn't even make it even as far as Atley did.
yeah, they
But
pushed it right to the finish. So
yeah.
cool. Have a good night, my dude.
Yep.
Thanks again.
Yeah. This was a fun race. I think if we keep this track for next time, maybe we do a few less laps.
Yeah,
But
maybe a 15 lapper instead of a
yeah,
20.
that's what I was thinking about midway through the race. I was like, 15 is probably the good sweet spot here.
We can tweak it even to make it so it's 16. That way it's like
Yeah.
if they wanted to, they could cut it in half.
Right. Yeah. But all right. With that, I am out of the booth. This is James signing off. Later, y'all.
Well, and that is a wrap, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. It's a late one here. But tomorrow night we've got the USA Trucks Las Vegas, the prelude to the 777 annual. So, and then of course July 7th with the Sylvania Cup Series and their annual special event, the 777 annual. So you won't want to miss both of those races, starting tomorrow night with the Trucks Western Divisions. So thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful night out there. Stay safe. And until next time, this is Jakester signing out.